Hi everyone, this is Mary, and the other day we were at the Stevensonville County Historical Museum, and anyhow, we were looking for, anomalies in the museum, especially like spirits. So, and we found a few, and I used. There was this one lady that was there, and she was wonderful. She had the ability to feel spirit energy around her. And I had my necklace on, and I forgot to bring a pendulum. So I had my necklace on, so I took the necklace off, and I used that as my pendulum. And I went over there to check to see what my necklace was going to show me. And sure enough, it was working. And what I'm going to do is show you first what that we picked up a spirit that was sitting in the rocking chair, and I'll show that to you first. Okay, right here. Let's see. See,
programmed to go this way, but there's something there. Yeah.
And see how my pendulum's working?
We're at the Sutherland.
And see, that's not really a pendulum per se, but that's what I wanted to do the show about today, is to show you that you don't necessarily have to have a pendulum in order to do this. Now,
then there was an Underground Railroad here.
Okay, and hold on, I just got to stop this. Now, what I used, well, let me see. Hold on just a second. Now, you can use a pendulum. Here's a pendulum right here. And this is brass. And you can use something like this. Or if let's say that you're in a spot that you had forgotten your pendulum, like me. If you have something around your neck that you can, like, see, this is semi gemstones or semi-precious gemstones, and it's just a chain that I put around my neck. Or in the case of the museum, I use this. I always wear this. So anyhow, and so what I did is I just pulled it off my neck and I programmed it. And basically when you program something, all you're doing is pretty much just, you think it in your mind. Say, okay, I want, like, think something like, well, I want my pendulum to show me spirits, and then you and then the pendulum will kind of pick that up, and thus that's what they call programming. It's just your thought and the pendulum picking up on your thought. It's now what you want to do with your pendulum. Okay, hold on. Ugh. It's okay. Let me fix this. I had a little problem. Somebody came in and covered up my screen. But now here's a pendulum, and I'm just holding it with my fingers, just like that. And like with this one here, I'm just like with a regular pendulum. You say to the pendulum, give me a yes, please. See? Now it's going sideways, back and forth. Then you say, thank you. And when you do, the pendulum will stop. Now you say, give me a no, please. See, now it's going backwards and forwards. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Now I'll go back in the right position. And now here is a pendulum. And we'll do the same thing. Now this is, like I said, this is brass. Give me a yes, please. I'll see what this one's doing here. It's going left to right. Thank you. Give me a no, please. Now it's going backwards and forwards. And now, if you don't have a dangling one, with something like a little piece, that hangs from it, you can still do it with anything that you have around your neck. Give me a yes, please. See, it works. Thank you. Give me a no, please. Thank you. Thank you. Now, if let's say, for instance, you're out in the woods, and you don't have anything. You can even use your earring, actually. But if you're out in the woods and you can pick up a piece of a long stick, and the stick will work on the same order as a rod. I don't have a rod with me, but I want to do a whole show on rods. So, but you can lightly hold the stick, and the stick will work just as well. I wanted to do this show today because when we were at this Stevensonville, I think it's called Stevensonville. It's either Stevensonville or Stevenson County. But when we were at that museum, I had used this right here. But people couldn't see my hand. So when I showed the video, there was a few people that wrote in. They says, well, okay, we're watching a little video clip, but we can't see your hand. And that's an okay question to ask, because there's a lot of people that will intentionally manipulate a pendulum. It's not a nice thing to do, but it is something. There are people out there that will use a pendulum and manipulate it for profit, or to influence the other person. So, like I said, it's not a nice thing to do, but people do it. But I don't. But of course, don't take my word for it, because this is why I want to do this class, is so that I can teach you how to do it. So then that way you don't fall for anybody. You just start doing it yourself. That's how I did it, because when in the beginning people would show me and I'd watch, and it was like, that's really cool. And I'd ask my questions, and then they'd ask the questions, and it kind of, but I wanted to understand it for myself. All right. So I got myself some rods, and I got myself a pendulum. And then I would be by myself, just one-on-one with my rods, or one-on-one with my pendulum, and I'd get the feel of it. And I would ask the basic questions, give me a yes and give me a no. Now, there's a lot of teachers of pendulums that do not do it like me. They program their pendulums for a yes, and they program it for a no. I just personally like for the pendulum to do its own thing, leave it alone, and let it give me the yes and give me the no. And a lot of the people that use the pendulums and the rods, they also teach that you don't have, once you've programmed it, you don't have to touch it again, just let it do its own thing. Now me, because I understand energy, and I know that energy changes depending on your emotional state, as well as the energies in that particular area. So, and when the pendulum, so if you go from one area to another area, and the energy is different, then you may get a false reading. So what I like to do with my pendulum is, or rods, is take, every time I go to a different area, the first thing I do is to have it tell me what the yes is and what the no is going to be. In that way, I don't have to worry about false, readings. Now, You can do it my way, you can do it somebody else's way, or you just find your own way. Because this is what my teachings, my classes are going to be about. Is I want you to become self-reliant. I do not want you being dependent on other people to read your cards or to give you, or to go into a trance, and then tell you something, or that you're dependent on them to, with the rods and the pendulum. Because if you know yourself, you're working it yourself, you don't have to worry about somebody deceiving you or manipulating you. So it's you can also, if and I forgot to mention this, and I want to bring it up, is if you don't have rods with you, you don't have anything dangly, you can body dowse. And body dowsing is great. And let's see, maybe I can do this. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I'll try. You stand, let's see, and you stand with your feet here. Hold on. You stand with your, let's see. You stand with your feet like this. A lot of guys will do this because it's a military position. Don't want that. You want to have your feet straight, and and your toes pointing straight, and even pressure on each foot. Then, hold on. Then you want to stand straight, and you relax. And then, now I'm going to, okay, bear with me here because I've never done this before. And hopefully it'll pick up everything. It's not, well, maybe it will. Okay, so if I tell my body, I say, give me a yes, please. And you relax. And see, thank you. See, it bent me backwards. Once you say thank you, it takes you back to the regular position. Now say, give me a no, please. Give me a no. Now it's pushing me off to the left. Okay, so now I know my yeses and nos. And I'm using my own body to do it. That's called body dowsing, which I really like, because with body dowsing, like let's say, for example, you're with a crowd of people and they're telling you some things, but you're not really sure if they're really telling you the truth or not, right? Well, you can't really put up a pendulum, and find out, are these people telling me the truth? And then letting the pendulum tell you right in front of them, it's kind of embarrassing. And same way with rods. And you don't want to be in a larger place, looking for something and using rods. So you want to be a little bit discreet. So you use your body. And if a person's telling you a lie, you can actually ask your body, give me a yes, please. Find out where your yes is. Give me a no, please. Find out where it is. Always be respectful to your pendulum. And each time it tells you something, say thank you. Respect is very, very important when you're working with the metaphysical world. Now, and once you find out your yeses and nos, then when you're talking to this person, and you're listening to them talking, you can just say in your mind, is this person telling me the truth? And the body will pick up that question, and it'll kind of lean you backwards, or in my case, what I showed you, it leaned me backwards, and then, what was that for the yes, I think it was, and then it kind of leaned me to the side left for a no. And again, same thing. Wherever you go differently than where you're at, get your yeses and nos first. Now, how this works, because when I did the video, there was a couple that wrote in, they says, well, we see your hand moving. So Are you manipulating the pendulum? No, I'm not. But you have to be flexible. You know, when the pendulum is moving, like in this case, you know, with that the spirit that was sitting on that chair, and the pendulum is circling. It was telling me that there was a spirit there. Now, what I would do to confirm it, I went to the side of the chair. The pendulum wouldn't do anything; it just hung there. Then I went to the other side of the chair. The pendulum hung there. Then I went to the chair, put it right above the chair, and then the pendulum started swirling. Okay, so I knew that the spirit was there. And I also, you know, I also got the confirmation from that one lady. But when you want to be in tune with your pendulum. So when the pendulum's moving, you know, you don't want your hand to be stiff as a board, because then you're kind of fighting that energy. You want your hand relaxed. And when it starts swirling, then, you know, you just kind of go with it. Like here, maybe, well, I'll try it. Hold on. I'm just going to use my necklace. Well, actually, I can use a pendulum. I got one right here. So, now, now you see, it's difficult to see, but I'm just going to show you my hands. And watch the chain. Give me a yes, please. I've never used this pendulum before, so I don't know how it's going to work. But you see now, if you go up here, see, I'm going slightly with it because I'm loose. It's like a tree. Okay, so a tree in a windstorm. When now we know that the tree is very strong. This tree doesn't move, right? But when there's a windstorm, you can actually watch the branches moving back and forth. And you follow those branches, you'll notice that the tree actually slightly moves with those branches. It's a flow of energy. So you don't want to keep your pendulum, you don't want to keep your fingers so stiff that you lose that connection, or try to force that trying to force an answer out of the pendulum. You allow the pendulum to do its thing, relax. Same way with body dosing. When you're standing straight, you're totally relaxed. You think of yourself like a tree in the wind, and you allow that energy to move you to and fro to get your answers. But by doing how I'm telling you it's done, then you don't need to find out, you know, or you don't need to be so reliant on somebody else using a pendulum and giving you the answers. So and also, like I said, you can use anything that dangles, or you can pick up a long stick. It's not that difficult. Now, how it works is it's not really magic, okay? A lot of times we just look at things and say, oh my God, this person is manipulating it, or this person has this great secret, you know, of how to work magic. No. It's all about energy. It's all about tuning yourself into the energy. Now you would think that what it's doing is picking up the energy and then bringing it back to you. But in actuality, what's happening with the pendulum, okay, or anything else that you use, is that this is where the higher self, the understanding of the higher self comes in. Like I've been working with you guys on various classes of how you have to start paying attention to your to your inner self, your inner feelings. What is your body language? Once you learn your body language and all that, then it would always be very difficult to trick you. It's just a matter of tuning in. Now, a pendulum is exactly like a lie detector that the police use. And what do they do with the lie detector is they take these little things and they put them on you put them on your fingertips. And then that's hooked up to a machine that has like a register or a needle, that goes right, for, truth, and then it goes another way, if it's a lie. And the reason it works, and now it's scientifically proven because the police use this. Okay, but what they're doing is they know that it's not out there that's getting them the information. It's the information. That's why if you laid this pendulum like this, hold on. If you laid the pendulum like this, any of these, and you don't have contact with it, and you say, give me a yes or give me a no, the pendulum isn't going to work. It has to have connection to, just like the lie detector, it has to have connection with you. Now, give me a yes, please. See, now it works. Thank you. Thank you. So now it works. Why? Just like the lie detector test, or the lie detector, it's picking up, hold on, it's picking up electrical impulse or electrical pulses from your body. So you have to hold on to it. And then these pulses, these little tiny electrical charges reacts to your truthfulness. When a person lies, their heart beats a little bit faster. The energy is, it doesn't slow down. It becomes more agitated when a person lies. And so these charges are picked up through these little things that these little clip things that they put on your fingertips, and then it registers. And that's exactly how it works with a pendulum. Because now, and why can you find things, or that they're lying, is because this part of you is the materialistic part, the 3D, but within you is your higher self, and the higher self is connected to the whole universe, the entire cosmos. Anything that's going on out there is connected to you, to the all-knowing higher self. So when you're asking questions, maybe the physical brain and the physical you may not know. But when you learn how to go within yourself and learn how to trust yourself, then you'll be able, or learn how to tune into yourself, then into your higher self, then you're going to have the correct answers, because the higher self will always know. So you tap into that higher self. The higher self tells the physical self through a pendulum or a rod, through body dosing, as to what is going on. Gives you yeses and nos. And the higher self will never lie to you, because that's kind of like your guardian, so anyhow, so you have to learn how to trust yourself and how to trust your pendulum. and when you're and your rods, and you'll notice that at first, like with me, I can hold one and boom, it just it goes crazy because I trust it so much that I have like an open circuit. That I mean, it'll like when I'm using the pendulum on like in healing, because remember I did that class. Remember? Well, here I'll show you again using the pendulum for healing. Again, here, we'll do it on Max. You just take now this pendulum. You just think now, I just want to use this pendulum for opening Max's chakras and to heal him. Now, what will happen is, then I just run it down through. Whoops, and see, same place. And if you, right in here, remember we talked about this before, Max right at this, see how that's going? And it'll go real strong. And so when I'm doing like healing on people, opening up their chakras with a pendulum or something like that, I have to stand back or have them stand back a little ways because it'll start swirling so much that, I don't want, it could actually hit them in the face if I'm not careful. Thank you. So now, so when you first start, okay, now I'm going to manipulate this, okay? So when you first start, you might get maybe just like this. That's all. Just like that. Like it hardly moves. And then you relax. Give me a yes, please. And you relax, and next thing you know, it's open and it starts swirling. Thank you. And when you say thank you, it will slow down and go back to its original position. Thank you. So you can use the pendulum for healing, and remember with Max, he's got that lump right on his inside here. See that lump right there? And that's where the pendulum stopped and started really swirling, is because my higher self was aware of this energy. Now, the energy, like if you have you're hurt, the energy is distorted there. If your chakras are closed, your energy is distorted right there. So the pendulum will pick up that distortion and respond to it. So that's what it's doing when it comes to healing, and in the same way, and then again, it's how you program your rods or your pendulum. And basically, this used to confuse me because they would say you have to program your rods and you have to program your pendulums and that, and I'm thinking, how do you do that? Do you really got to concentrate, And then I realized that all programming is you think it. That's intent. You put out the intent through a thought. And the pendulum responds to it. So there's no big mystery behind that either. You just think it. If you want to heal, think it. If you want to open chakras, think it. If you want you're just questioning things as a yes and a no, think it. But like I said at first, because you're not sure of yourself, that means you're closed down. It has nothing to do with the pendulum not working. It just means that you're closed down. And that's why you want to go by yourself, away from everybody else, and just work with your pendulum, your rod, or a stick, or, a necklace, and just play with it and play with it and play with it. Because once it starts working for you, that that slight movement that you're getting will start getting bigger. More motion. And then when you're totally open and, and you accept the fact that it's, you're having some sort of a electrical relationship, pendulum, then all of a sudden you'll be able to really, really work nice with it. It's just getting used to. There's no magic involved in it at all. And this way, if you learn how to do this, then you don't have to worry about anybody manipulating the pendulum or the rods, because you're doing it. And if somebody else is doing it, that's fine. You can do it too. I mean, one person can do it, 5 people can do it, 20 people can do it at the same time. It doesn't make any difference. Everything in the metaphysical world is simplicity in its most simplistic manner. In the material world, it's totally different. You know, that's it's a matter of strength, calculations. But when it comes to metaphysical, it's just letting it be. Trusting, respecting, and surrendering. Don't manipulate. Because besides that, if you did want to manipulate, I mean, who are you helping? I mean, how are you helping anyone? Or how are you helping yourself? Because if you're part of deception, then that's going to hurt you. And it's not going to hurt them so much. I mean, yeah, you've made a fool out of them. You know, maybe you got your $25 worth from them, whatever. But in the long run, it hurts you because you're creating something negative that you really don't want to be part of. It's much better just to be honest. You know, do your reading, do your dowsing with the pendulum or your body or whatever, and just stay honest. And the rewards are great. It's how I do the woods, how I photograph the woods and do my tours, and I feel, and I feel for, the invisible entities among me. You learn so much more by trusting yourself, being honest with yourself, and doing it the right way. And like with the spirits that guide me, they always told me, they says, Mary, we will teach you what we know, but you need to share all this information with everyone else. And the day that you quit sharing is the day that we quit sharing information with you. And so, I mean, I share. I have no problem, I don't hoard my secrets, to make myself appear to be smarter than anybody else, or more magical or more mystic. That's not how you work in the metaphysical world. You have to be one with the all, and the all has to be part of you. And it has to be done in an honest way. That's what separates black magic from white magic, You can use, because the universe cannot distinguish between black or white magic. It just is. And when you learn how to use that energy, it provides. But it's how it's provided. That's where you have to ask yourself, do I want to use white magic, or do I want to use black magic? And all of us like minds that are watching these type of shows, that I present, we like white magic, which isn't even really magic at all. It's just being able to understand the rules of the universe and how they work. And at some point in time, maybe I can get enough people together so I can teach you what Diana Palm had taught us about how to neutralize gravity and actually lift a person sitting on a chair with one finger. All that stuff is there for you to learn. Okay? So, and we all have the ability. There's no one, I don't think, is stronger or weaker than the other. It's just that it's like a muscle. Some people may have used the muscle longer, and so their skills have become more developed. But you can catch up and be just as advanced. Everyone can be advanced. It's just It's just that you need somebody out there to tell you how it's done. I mean, it's not like you're defying the universe. I mean, how can you work any of this if you don't understand how to? Most people don't even know that you can dowse. They don't they don't understand how you communicate with the universe. People say, "Well, God doesn't speak to us anymore." Well, of course He does, or she. The universe speaks to us all the time in so many different ways, and that's why it's good for you to go back to all my other classes that I have up on Facebook and watch these, because I'm trying to teach you all these little secrets so that you can understand how to work, how this all works, and then you can also work. So I hope this has helped you to understand. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and I'll be more than happy to work with you on the side. Anyhow, welcome Lynn and Nora and Scott. Hi, Scott. Scott Marcus is watching. Deborah and Monica and Jesus Gomez and a whole bunch of people. Marta is watching. Hi, Marta. And Judy, Martin. Oh, we got loads and loads and loads. Lee Pennington's watching us. Oh, hi, Lee. How you doing? And Lupita, Heather, you know, and the names go on and on and on. But I'm not seeing you asking any questions. But I hope I've explained it well enough for you. But I mean, as time goes by, you know, it'll come and you'll understand it. You just have to have patience. Lynn says she's learning to let go can be difficult to do. Well, Lynn, that's why you just do this on your own. Stay away from other people. You don't even need to tell them that you're practicing it. Because the more, it's like people, the more you're around something, you learn to who to trust and what not to trust. And same way with the pendulum. As you're alone with the pendulum and you see it responding to you, you'll become more and more assured of that connection between you and the energy around you, and how the higher self is working, through your physical body using these tools. Now, I used to use tools, but remember, it is electrical pulses, that like the lie detector, that's going through you, coming from the higher self through the heart, and into the different senses, the sensations of touch and that. But anyhow, it's going through into your fingertips, and then it connects to the tool, and the tool gives you the answer. But after a while, all the tool is a tool. That's it. It helps you. It's a tool you use until you understand. And once you realize that it's just these electrical pulses, like the lie detector test, that's going through you, and that it's actually coming from you, then what you'll do, as I did, I throw away. I don't use the pendulum much anymore. I don't use the rods. I just body dowse. Because once you're able to relax, stand straight, relax, and think of yourself as the tool, the main tool, then you'll see the body will start moving, same way as the pendulum does, same way as the rods does. And then after that, once you're able to pick up from your own body that you can read your own body well enough, then there's really no point in using, the rods or the pendulum. The rods and pendulums is just a visual, and I use it for a backup, and I use it for when I'm taping something, like giving a class, or share, like if I'm on I go out and I'm doing a haunting, investigating a haunting. But I know before I even get there, because I'm so tuned into my body of what's going on. But if I'm videoing it, I do need that visual so that you can see it as well. And always remember, it's always coming. It's just like the lie detector test. It's always coming from you. It's always coming from you. These electrical pulses. And you see, like I said, the police already use this. FBI. To them it's a matter of science. But when you start using it in the metaphysical world, you're hearing people say, "Oh, well, they're using that woo-woo stuff." No, we're applying the same science as the police and the FBI. Same thing. So, Julie Campbell Jones, Mary, do you use your hand or other half circle type scale for multiple choice questions? I don't know. I don't quite understand the question, Julie. Do you use your hand or other half circle type scale for multiple choice questions? Like muscle testing? I think that is what you're talking about, is muscle testing. In theory, you're probably going to have to go to somebody else to find out how they muscle test, because I've never been able to understand how that works. Diana Palm is a wonderful teacher when it comes to that. So, and Diana Palm is on our Facebook, and she actually gives classes as well. So, but I can only teach. Oh, okay. Julie says, for instance, label each finger a color and ask the pendulum from there. Label each. Oh, so, okay, so it's multiple questions, and each finger represents the answer to that, or the question. I've never done that, Julie. I've never even heard of it, to tell you the truth. Something new to me. What I do is I teach what I know of. There's a lot of things out there that I'm not aware of. And so I don't want to steer you wrong on anything and second guess. But Julie says, if you're looking for a color answer, yeah, I just don't understand it. But I don't know if you're in my group or not, but if you are in my group, or if you want to join my group, go to facebook.com/groups/Mary Sutherland. And there we have a study group, and study and research group. And so maybe, Julie, if you were there or you're going to join, then maybe you could write in that group how to use color for multiple questions. Okay, by labeling your fingers. Because, like I said, I've never heard of it. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. My connection is weak, and I do not understand why my connection is weak. But anyhow, Julie says, thank you, Mary. It's just another more specific method, and it probably is. But this is the show for the day. Yeah, I have a weak connection here for some reason, and I don't understand why. But I'll be putting this up as archived, and when it's archived, you'll be able to watch it without any disruptions. The group is facebook.com/groups/Mary Sutherland. And because we got a weak connection today, but it could be my battery, maybe on my cell phone, and my cell phone's pretty full too, so I have to take a lot of pictures off and audios off, and maybe that'll help the connection a little bit too. But until then, thank you for listening to the show tonight. And I made Brad rhubarb custard pie, so I think I'm just going to go down there and see how good it was. But it sure sounds good. And Max says hi, and just realize that I love you, and I love all you guys out there, and I'll do my best to help you I'll do my best to share all the things that I have learned in the last couple of decades. Okay? Gosh, doesn't seem like I've been doing this that long, but I have. So, anyhow, you always have a friend with me. And if you ever need anything, contact me. I'm there for you. I promise. Okay? Again, happy holidays, wherever you may be. Be safe. And know that you are truly, truly loved. Bye now. This is Mary Sutherland.